Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a doubleheader. I tend to do these doubleheaders because it seems like more people are liking them as of late. So, ask and you shall receive. So, this is a post-fight for the last UFC card and pre-fight with predictions for today's card, which is later today, UFC 260. For the UFC heavyweight title, Stipe versus Francis rematch. So a quick rundown of last week's card. We had it was Brunson versus Holland middleweight clash, and to kick off the main card in the heavyweight division, we had Tai Tuivasa versus Harry Hunsucker, and it was first round TKO punches for Tai Tuivasa, who needed a win bad, and he got it. Very impressive win. And then in the bantamweight division, we had Adrian Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez. This one I got right. Adrian Yanez, just very technical striker, well-rounded fighter. Not to take anything away from Gustavo Lopez, but just the level of skill I felt was just on another level for Adrian. So Adrian win KO punch round 3, and it was a very impressive knockout. Then in the women's strawweight division, we had Montserrat Ruiz versus Cheyenne Bays, and Ruiz won decision unanimous and just outclassed, got good positions, outgrappled and outstruck. Bays very well, looked impressive, and Bays' husband lost on the prelims. Boyfriend lost on the prelims as well against Silva, second round TKO punch loss. I think both of them are talented, and I think they both can bounce back from this loss. But anyways, I think the grappling of Ruiz was just on a whole nother level, and that's what was the big factor. She just closed the distance and was able to land strikes up close. Then in the welterweight division, we had Max Griffin versus Song Kanan, and I got this one wrong. Max Griffin got a much needed win here, KO punches round 1. Very impressive knockout, insanely impressive knockout. Was not seeing it from Max Griffin, did not think this was going to happen. I thought Song was going to go in, wear out Max Griffin, and just win a decision, and I thought this fight was not going to be the most exciting, but it was. Pleasant surprise there. Good job, Max Griffin. Then in the main event, in the middleweight division, we had Derek Brunson versus Kevin Holland, and Derek Brunson basically out-wrestled Kevin Holland en route to unanimous decision victory. Across the board, great card overall. Then we move on to now the one you've all been waiting for, pre-fight for UFC 260. Quick rundown of the main card with predictions as always. So let's get started. To kick off the main card, we have Jamie Malarkey versus Kama Worthy. I'm going to go with Kama Worthy here. I think he has a little bit of hype surrounding him. I think that Jamie, it's going to be hard to say how he can win this fight. Maybe takedowns, but I think Kama Worthy just is on another level, and I think Kama Worthy gets it done. I'll say first round knockout. I don't say that too often with lightweight fights, but I'll say it with this. I think Kama Worthy has knockout power and can get it done. Then in the women's flyweight division, we have Jillian Robertson versus Miranda Maverick, and Miranda Maverick was killing it in Invicta, and Jillian Robertson, I think, she needs a win right now, but I'm going to go with Miranda Maverick. I'm going to say she wins by decision unanimous. I think she out-grapples Jillian Robertson. Jillian Robertson's a pretty good grappler. Not bad in the guard, but Miranda Maverick was just killing it in Invicta, and it's hard to pick against her. I mean, the Phoenix Rising series, she looked amazing. And so I got to go with Miranda Maverick by decision due to takedowns and out grappling. And basically, I could see her getting top position and landing good strikes. Then in the bantamweight division, we have Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida. I think Thomas Almeida could win here, but I think that's going to be Sean O'Malley's day. I think he's motivated after the loss to Marlon Vera. And I think that Thomas Almeida is just going to get outclassed on the strikes. And I think this fight stays standing, and I think because it stays standing, it's going to favor Sean O'Malley. If I were Thomas Almeida's coaches, I'll be telling him to push for takedowns left and right. Sean O'Malley has good jiu-jitsu still, but I think that's the most winnable scenario for Thomas Almeida. And I think, unfortunately, that's not going to happen for this fight. So I think Sean O'Malley's going to win. I'll say second round knockout. Then in the welterweight division, in the co-main event, we have Tyron Woodley versus Vicente Luque. I've been tooting the horn of Vicente Luque for a while now. Yeah, he lost to Wonder Boy. And yes, MMA math, you could say, well, didn't Woodley beat Wonder Boy, Stephen Wonder Boy Thompson? MMA math, as the hardcores know, it doesn't always add up like that. Some casuals might buy into that, but anyhow, Vicente Luque, he's trained with Gilbert Burns, and Gilbert Burns beat Woodley, and I think that insight will be a factor. But I think also Luque is just the hungrier fighter, and he has heavy hands, and I could see him getting a knockout. I'll say knockout in the second round here in this fight. So I got, Vicente Luque by knockout over the former UFC welterweight champ Tyron Woodley. Now, as a fan, I love the Cinderella story of Woodley, playing out a big moment in this match and really showing he can shine. But and then seeing where Woodley goes from there and really proving all the naysayers wrong. But I think Luque gets it done. Then we move on to the main event for the UFC heavyweight title, Stipe Miocic. Defending against Francis Ngannou. This is a rematch. The first fight went 50-44 unanimous decision across all three judges for Stipe as he out-wrestled Francis. So, I think a lot of people are picking Francis because he's had all these first-round knockouts, but I'm picking Stipe again in this fight like I did the first time they fought, because I think that's just it, is Francis is going to be charging for that first-round knockout. Even if his coaches say, well, pace yourself, he's going to get worn out in those later rounds if he paces himself. And if he paces himself, then he doesn't get the first-round knockout, most likely. If he puts all his energy in the first round, then he might get the first-round knockout. But I think that Stipe is going to be calculated, and people forget he's a Golden Gloves boxing champ. He's a Division I All-American wrestler, and he's going to put that to use, and he's going to tire out Francis. And I think he'll win another decision here. I think Francis can be hard to put away, but I think Stipe can win another decision here. And I think, if Stipe finishes Francis, it's going to be in rounds 4 or 5 by submission, maybe a rear naked choke, and but I just think Stipe is going to play it safe, and which he should. And I think it's going to be a smart game plan, and I think he gets it done. So I think Stipe gets it done by unanimous decision here. I'll say 50-45 across the board instead of 50-44 this time. But I'm giving Stipe a 75% chance of winning this fight. I'm not saying it's a beyond guarantee he's going to win. Francis has that puncher's chance, but that's just the problem, is he has a puncher's chance. I don't see him, shooting for a takedown. I don't see him going for submissions. I don't see him, trying to land a flashy head kick. I don't see him, really trying much anything else besides headhunting Stipe and trying to go for the big knockout. And Stipe, that's exactly what Stipe wants for Francis to do. And I think Francis will do that, and he'll play in the favor of Stipe, so I'm picking Stipe by decision, unanimous. There you have it. There's my predictions. Stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight show, and as always, until then, see ya.